Okay guys, welcome to today's video. So we'll be using today to just do a very brief weekly market overview, right? What we should be expecting from the market next week. We're in a case study from ETH and BTC. Okay, so this is ETH, very briefly. And this is how the market played out. You can see all the way from this region since March 2025. ETH has been buying, right? Then we got a break here. Then you can see last week candle did a pullback to this region of weekly order flow and rejected, and we can see this week candle. I think we have about 1 hour or 2 hours for this candle to close, and we are seeing it closing a kind of in a bullish momentum. So it means market made a pull up, right? Then they pull down to this order flow region. I think we can see it clearly on the daily time frame, right? If you mark out this region, right, which looks like a breaker, right? We had here, you had a low, you had a high, then market broke structure to the downside, right? Then you can see this last red candle is actually the breaker block. Then instead of market to expect this sell side order block, right, market took it out with a bullish candle. So that midpoint is actually a breaker block. And one thing about a breaker block is that whenever market hits breaker block, the low, usually BTC, this is not BTC, ETH should take out this liquidity above this region, this high, right? So because market mitigated the breaker block, a beautiful one on the daily time frame, and corresponding to the weekly time frame order flow there. So most times when you see a breaker block entry like this, so let me just sketch it out. You have a low, a high that broke structure, right? Then all of a sudden market invalidated this high that was supposed to serve as a bearish continuation, right? Market took it out. There was a pullback, right? That did not get to that breaker that serves as structural liquidity. Then market made moves down, mitigated, and start making bullish moves. So we should see this high, right, being taken out. This, right? So this high here is definitely going to be taken out, right? I've traded something like this on smaller time frame. This is huge time frame now, but most times, every time I've not seen it fail, right? When you have move high, this particular high that took market to the lower region will definitely be taken out as liquidity because market has mitigated this breaker block. Would want to see market take out this high, right? So definitely market will take out this high. Then when you see the movement, so how can you catch, say, continuation trades? So we can look at it on ETH. Two possible scenarios can happen, right? You can see when market mitigated this region, we had an order flow. You know, ETH follows order flow very, very well. We have one order flow region here, which is also corresponding to this level of imbalance on that range, right? And this is daily time frame. Let's move down to 4 hours time frame so we can see the structure clearly. Okay, good. You can see that order flow corresponding to, if I'm to adjust this, it's corresponding to the 50% level of this imbalance right there, right? So what can we expect from this market? It either we see, because this would be a full TP target, right? This would be a target for the trade. So if we have a bearish move from here, if this supply region is able to hold, would be pushing market to the downside here. Then we'll target here, right? But there is a strong possibility most times when we'll be waiting for price to come here before targeting here. There's a strong possibility that price can move from this particular region, right? From this position, right? Price can move like this, take out this high, and continue moving up, right? Without even coming down. Or we can see a sweep after a sweep of this high, or we can see a sweep of this high here, then before price comes back down, right? But most times, especially if the structure is bullish, if the market is really strongly bullish, we might not see a pullback to this region. But whether we see one or not, it's a good point of interest to mark, right? To wait for price, right? To wait for price to target. But definitely price would want to take out this structure, take out this liquidity. Why? Because we have mitigated a higher time frame breaker block right here. So this high is a liquidity region even as far as this high, right? But of course we want to target the liquidity that's really closer, which is this one. So if price does not move from this particular, of course if you look at this structure here already, the structure is forming already on this. We have seen a break of structure here. So if we get a buy momentum, we can just take out this liquidity from this region before the pullback happens, right? It will be clean. If a pullback happens, it will be a function of what? External range. Immediately market sweeps external range liquidity is falling back to mitigate an internal range liquidity, right? It will be sweeter than market just coming down here. So I would prefer market taking out this liquidity at the highs so that it can fuel a reversal, right? Then when we see a reversal pattern, we can catch good movement to this downside, so that we know that whatever move coming here would be a pullback from internal range to target another external range, which will give us good trading opportunity, right? Good, beautiful, good trading opportunity. So this is one of the two ways we can look at this ETH structure in order for us to catch good trades right here. So I think that is that for ETH. Nothing much to look at, right? Nothing really much. But if you see that move, if we see that move to the downside from this region, right? If markets decides to take out this particular low all the way here, right? Market decides to take out, like you see a movement to this low, right? You would want to catch a pullback here for the continuation of the move, and of course you would ensure you check your words discount levels. You can see right now if market pulls here to this region, this our point of interest is within the discount level for a buy continuation. You can see, so it will be really valid for us to catch that move. But of course you want to enter, then it will mean that if you see that break, if you see that shift, it will mean that market is reacting from what? This what? Sell side supply zone, right? So but we need to wait for that confirmation for market to what? Take out the low, then we see a sell, right? We'll see a sell setup, we'll short it all the way to our point of interest here, we'll take profit, catch a confirmation, and we'll continue to the upside, right? We can see moves play out like this. It's all about reaction, right? It's all about waiting for market to react. You don't know, right? You can see we've played out multiple scenarios that can happen, right? It's just to wait for how market will react. Market decide to take out this liquidity before coming here, would still catch good trades. Decides to come down here, will still catch good trades, because once the market structure shifts bearish, would catch a pullback for a short trade to this point of interest, where we'll take profit and watch market reactions, enter in confirmation for market to go and take out this liquidity, because we know that these guys will definitely be a target, but we don't know how market will take that. Market can play out in this scenario, or we can see moves like this for continuation, or we just continue moving bullishly without even coming back to mitigate these imbalances, right? But anyhow it plays out, you can catch moves, right? So that's just the essence for me doing this simple analysis right here. Then if you check out BTC, so this for ETH, let's go to BTC. Where is it? Okay, good. So if you check out BTC, BTC turned really bullish, taking out the all-time highs, right? It maintained this. This was the bullish pattern. Was really busy that I missed the move. Physical activity got my attention. I was not really looking at the chart. Yeah, beautiful buy structure pattern, SMC structure pattern that BTC did, right? So if you look at these levels of imbalance for liquidity, um, mitigation blocks on the daily time frame is resting within this region, right? And market has taken out this high, but we have not yet seen a body candle close above this region. We just saw a sweep and market is rejecting, right? But we'll still be watching, right? If we see that shift in confirmation, same thing, right? And there are several other flow regions to look out for. Yeah, there are several other flow regions market has also created apart from this mitigation block on the daily time frame, which is also corresponding to the 4 hours imbalance right here. So what can we expect? Market sweeping down this side. Would market make a pullback before a continuation? Right, you can see 50% level is resting at this region, or will market just do a slight pullback on this level here for that bullish continuation, right? All the reactions can happen, but right now all we would need to do before we can confirm that market is one coming down, we need to see a sell side setup, right? We need to see a sell side setup, because if you look at the structure on the daily time frame, you see that the market is entirely bullish, but we want to see a body candle close above this high, so that I know that, oh, if market is coming from a level of strong demand, right, this level of strong demand should give me a body candle close so that it does not turn to be a range. Why am I saying that? Because of course if you look at this, market rejected all the way from here, from this high. Now we saw another rejection from here, so that we need to see a body candle close above, so that it does not turn to a range and we now see market moving to lower regions from this high, right? So we need to see a little bit of pullback and market should give us a new swing structure, so that we can consider this guy here as our lower low, right, or lower high to higher high. We want to see a new swing structure, something like this, right? If market has made moves like this, we want to see, so I can consider this my swing low and this guy here my swing high, but I need to see that body candle close, because if there's no really body candle close, I'll be considering this like a range, because market, it should just be like there will be a range, we have a pullback, tap, market tapped, we tested that range. We don't want to see structures like that. Then if it's a range, it means market would definitely want to come really strongly bearish, right? So that's not what. And if you look at the weekly time frame, still the same thing, right? So that body candle close now on the weekly time frame, we're just seeing a sweep, and it remains like 1 hour or 2 hours before the weekly candle close. Of course this week's candle turned really bullish, right? We saw this rejection from this candle, this pullback from this demand zone, and for this last week candle to close like this, meaning there's a strong rejection from the buy side, and the new week candle opened really bullish, right? But we need to see that candle close so that we can know that there is a continuation, right? And we can be able to catch continuation trades really clear, right? So that's what we should be expecting from BTC. But if we see market breaking, of course this 4 hours imbalance is a good region for us to look out for market, but and especially if market decides to make a bearish pullback. If there's a bearish pullback, of course, this guy will be a good region for market. So if you see moves like this region will be a good region for market to continue moving to the upside, right? Good setup. So when market, if you see a sell side, market taking out this particular bullish order flow, then of course we enter the pullback, catch a mini sell trade to this imbalance region, right? Then we know that the market is going to continue the bullish momentum from around this region, right? But if we don't get that, we can also see markets can start continuing using this method here. But of course, we want to catch good pullback trade right here. If you can look at this order flow region, it's a good place market can sell into here. If we see that confirmation, we want to catch buy side continuation. But if market wants to really go bearish, we'll take out. You see markets will not give you a good confirmation when it mitigates this order flow region. You see market taking it out. Then once it takes it out, you enter for a pullback, right? Take it out like this. You enter for a pullback to catch sales to this imbalance region, where you wait for confirmation to catch what longs from this region, right? So that is what we should be expecting market to play out next week, right? This new week, right? So very simple, nothing really technical, just basically waiting, chilling out, and waiting for those confirmations to happen before taking your trade, right? So that'll be all for today. I hope you guys learned one or two from this. Let's go.